Hello guys, and today we'll review the CAMMUS C5. So with a price tag of $250 it seems to be a promising piece that can definitely shake things around in sim racing. So for all of you that are new to the concept of direct drives and sim racing equipment in general, you first have to understand that every high-end setup is started with a base. And then on top of that base you can add a wheel of your choice, and on top of that you can also set a personal preference about the pedals that you will use in the future, or just you want to put it all together, but it has 3 pieces. So CAMMUS did something that I've never seen before. They integrated the direct drive system into the wheel itself, so making one less part than the traditional approach. CAMMUS was kind enough to send me this one for a full review, and I'll just try to make it as useful as I possibly can. But back to our story. So the C5's unique design has definitely raised some eyebrows online, but when you understand how it works, it does make perfect sense. So the faceplate, it's carbon fiber. It has a very little neat rev indicator, shift lights, and some programmable buttons and aluminium rotary encoders. So then here is the wheel that really looks like genuine leather. So it's beautifully hand stitched, and honestly it looks way better in person than in pictures. And trust me, I was kind of pleasantly surprised with what I've got. CAMMUS has thoughtfully included a table clamp, so it's very easy to mount it for entry-level users. But if you have a cockpit or a wheel stand, you have no issues about it whatsoever. So the mount took me about 20 minutes to put together, and I would say that it was the first time in a while that I actually had to use the manual to get it to work. I would say that it wasn't really anything special about it, but it's just built differently. So this is the new concept, completely new concept for me, and I think a lot of you that are watching this video. So it does make a difference. If you want to get into something like this, just check the manual, it's going to make your life a lot easier. And let's not forget about the low profile mounting system, which includes an integrated fan. So I think this is a space saver. So at first I thought the whole system would move a lot, because from what I've seen in the past, no one really got this thing to work properly. But this thing had absolutely no flex while I was using it. I was mounting it on my prime rig and I had absolutely no flex at all. And one thing I have to mention, pedal shifters. They're probably the smallest I have ever seen, and I was very skeptical about this, and honestly, this proved to be the only downside of the wheel. I don't see why they didn't make the shifters a little bit bigger than these absolutely micro shifters. If they put the G29 shifters onto that thing, it would make a much more enjoyable shifting experience. Although the shifting has kind of a clicky feeling, it's kind of nice, but the shifters are a bit too small. So I think overall the C5 delivers just an enjoyable gaming experience. While it could benefit a little more from fine-tuning, especially in the software department and a bit on the design, I think this one is very promising. And considering its price point, it's just unbelievable. It definitely outperforms entry-level belt and some gear-driven wheels. So for the price point and target market, the CAMMUS C5 is definitely hard to criticize. Yes, it has its own little tweaks that need to be adjusted, but if you compare it to the G29 or some other wheel in that area, it's superior in many areas that actually count. So force feedback, it's simply better, smoother, and just it's more enjoyable. So is the CAMMUS C5 really worth the hype? You can always let me know down in the comments. And if you already own a direct drive, I think this wheel is probably not for you. But on the other hand, if you don't already own, let's say, a high-end belt or direct drive wheel that might, actually might outperform it, this might be worth considering. So what are my concerns about this one? It's hard to say what this product is going to look like in, let's say, a couple of months of heavy use. So while I was testing it, it looked really promising and the experience was absolutely great. It's definitely something to be excited about, and especially because it's $250 US. I think the only problem that I have about this wheel is that it's very difficult to compare something like this on something on the market, because there is simply no other wheels or wheelbases like this. So I think this is the first one. So I think in the end I can say this is a well-engineered good product that needs a little bit more work, but in general, I would recommend it to someone who is trying to experience something new, and it can definitely outperform a lot of belt-driven wheels. So once again, guys, I would like to ask you to let me know down in the comments what you think, and I can say one more thing. Until the next time, bye.